Welcome back, my faithful legionnaires, to another episode of GTA 5 mod review slash showcases. And of course, I will get the boring stuff out of the way first. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help us out. We're getting up there slowly. I'm still hoping to get at least, I don't know, we'll reach for 1,000 by the end of the year. We still got time. So yes, hit that subscribe button and the like video if you enjoyed this video. Now, of course, we are next to our beautiful Nissan Titan and in some ODST armor, but that's not what you came here to see today. You came to see the F14 Tomcat, based off the real-life vehicle. But this one obviously has a few decals on it. Now, like I said in the last episode, that we would be reviewing a Tomcat. The only difference is that this is not the one that I was going to do, but it just works better for the game. I have also reached out to some other modders to try and get some other ships made, so that way we can have some, something like the Normandy from Mass Effect, or the Daedalus from Stargate, or the Prometheus from Stargate, or even some more from Star Trek, or even Serenity. That would be an awesome ship to look at, the Firefly class. So if you're a modder and you'd like to do any of those ships, just hit us up on the GTA mod review mod page, or leave a comment in the YouTube, the good old stuff. But without further ado, let's move on with the episode today. We are looking at, like I said, the Tomcat. The reason why I'm doing a Tomcat is because, like I said in the last episode, I recently watched Top Gun Maverick, and this is a very cool jet. Not much to say about it. It's pretty straightforward. It's a military jet with some very cool decals on it. I prefer it a little bit more sleek, like with less decals on it, but that's just my personal opinion. But I just left it as it is, as it spawned in. Wings do open and close. They open and close when you retract the landing gear. The other mod I was going to do had the function of opening and closing the wings, but they didn't stay in a fixed position, so it kind of flopped about. So that's why we went with this good old one by our good buddy Kevin. He has done plenty of mods for the channel before. He's also done our chariot, as it were, and I will be hopefully adding that to my GTA mod page, so that way if you'd like to have the chariot, it will be available on the mods page when I can get the file back, because unfortunately I lost it when GTA wanted to be stupid one day, and I lost all the mods that I had installed, and that was one of them. Unfortunately, I forgot to save it to the actual computer, but yeah, sad days. Moving on. But yes, the plane does come with a range of weapons, mainly just missiles and a machine gun, which is a standard for Kevin's mods, which is nothing wrong with that. It gets the point across. It's weaponry, and there goes my phone. So yeah, it's weaponry, and it will be very cool to show off if it allows it. And yes, before you have any doubts, the afterburners do work, and it's very cool. So you have a script that you put into your script file, and it is easy as that. Without further ado, let's hop up into the air and fly it around. Whoop. Flashy. Alrighty, so what we'll do is just don't want to hit our Navara or Titan. We're probably gonna. There we go. Clip through the roof. Alrighty, up the runway we go, and have some flying around, and so that way you guys can see the awesomeness of this plane. And it takes off on a dime. Alright, so like I said, when the landing gear retracts, the wings retract as well, which is a pretty cool function. I personally like the functionality of being able to open and close the wings in the air. I haven't been able to do that with this one, but maybe if Kevin does an update on the mod, that could be something he could do another time. But that is a-okay. Alright, so what we'll do is shut up and have a fly around, and you can have a good little see. Legionnaires, we now have a target. Let's see if we can catch it and shoot it down. Get some money missiles on. Fuck, dude. Missiles away. We have tongue. Yeah, boy. There we go. Let's get out of there before the military come. No time. So as you can tell, Legionnaires, this fighter jet is very capable and actually turns on an absolute dime. Like I said, you can open and close the wings, but therefore the landing gear will come out as well. Hopefully that gets fixed if this mod gets an update. It probably will, and maybe a better looking skin for it. Other than that, it is a very nice plane, and it gives a lot of the other mods a run for its money in terms of speed. But yeah, personally, I quite like it. I'm gonna try and find another military jet that I actually had as a model when I was a kid. So I'm gonna try and find that just to review on the channel. Come on, stop. Just because it's a bit of nostalgia for me, anyway. So that's about it, Legionnaires. What we'll do now that we're safe and sound on the ground with an actual quite a good landing, I must admit, is hop out of the jet and close out the episode. And there we have it, Legionnaires, out of the cockpit, on the ground, safe and sound, next to the Tomcat and the Nissan Titan. So like I said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to it, as it really does help us out. We are aiming for that nice crisp 1,000 by the end of the year. I don't honestly think it will happen, but it would be absolutely awesome if it does. And if it does, well, it would be just because of you guys, and I thank you for your support. If you are a modder and you'd like to make us some mods, don't forget to contact us in any way you can find, either on the GTA mods page or through YouTube or any other ways. And yeah, that's about it for this episode. If you like this jet as also, it will be down in the description as per usual. And that sums it up, Legionnaires. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.